Hello and welcome to another interesting episode of CXO Fireside Chat with Kalpana on CXO TV, the flagship brand of TechPlus Media Group. Today's guest is none other than Pankaj Kankar, co-founder and Chief ScaleMaker at ScaleX.Technology. With 24 years of experience in tech and product leadership, he is all about helping startups and enterprises scale with innovation and excellence. He is known for mentoring, innovating, leading engineering teams, you name it. Pankaj has created some incredible products that have become multi-million dollar success stories. Join me in giving a warm welcome to Pankaj. Pankaj, we are thrilled to have you here.
Thank you, Elna. Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, hi, good evening. So we'll be diving into some exciting discussions. First off, let's hear the story behind the title Chief ScaleMaker and how it reflects your role at ScaleX.
Okay, so, over 2 decades of my experience, I have primarily been scaling product engineering and organization. And last 15 years has been with the startups. Most of it has been the journey from 10 to 100 and beyond. Scaling from 10 to 100 and beyond. One of the company I sort of worked from the beginning, but it was almost $0 revenue, and we took it to 35 million from 0 million in 3 years with customer all top tier US and UK clients being our customer. So what during this journey we realized is that once company achieve product market fit, they grapple with the challenges of scale, and scaling is not, it does not get set automatically. It is filled with a lot of challenges, a lot of uncertainty, and it is multidimensional in nature. Right? But for us, it was like second habit, scaling and dealing with those challenges. And with that sort of thought, I, along with one of my co-founder, who has been CXO at Myntra, Amazon, we decided to set up ScaleX. And that's where when we were thinking, we see ourselves as a scale maker, because that's what we have been doing for around 2 decades, a scaling company, and mainly from 10 to 100 journey and beyond. Right? And then rather than CEO, we see what is the core value that we bring on the table. And what we bring is basically, scaling things. And that's how the title of Chief ScaleMaker comes into the picture. And as I said, the role is primarily helping companies in scaling their product, technology, and organization.
Yeah. So as Chief ScaleMaker at ScaleX, how do you approach the challenge of scaling businesses, and what strategies have you found most effective in driving growth and expansion?
So, Kalpana, the difference that we bring is we bring the practitioner view. We have done it combinedly for more than 40 years. Right? So we are not bringing purely theoretical or consulting view, but we are bringing a practitioner view, and that helps us in a big way. The strategy that helped us is, across my journey and even as ScaleX is, firstly, we believe in this principle and follow it to the T, then diagnose before you prescribe. Right? So we do a very 360-degree sort of evaluation, stakeholder understanding, and then we start from customer. We do not start from product and tech. We start from customer, try to understand customer behavior. From that, we connect to business, and then we come to product, technology, and organization. So, and that sort of is the strategy which has worked very beautifully for us. Secondly, when we try to bring an intervention and help companies, we take a very holistic view, and we try to harmonize platform, product, people, processes, and practices. And many times I have seen when the company are not able to get desired result because they look things in silo. They would say, we want a scalable tech, we need new stack, or it's about people. But unless we harmonize all of these critical elements, the chances of achieving the desired result is low. So these are some of the philosophies and practices that we follow, and which has worked quite well for us.
Yeah. So you said platform, processes, and there are a couple of more P's. So scaling often involves leveraging technology and automation. Can you elaborate on the role of technology in the scaling process at ScaleX and how it contributes to the organization's success?
Yes. So if we go back maybe a decade, right, this technology in many fields were known to be a differentiator. There were, of course, tech businesses, but there were non-tech businesses where tech was thought to be a differentiator. But if we see today words, whether it is newspaper or it's a manufacturing, technology is no longer a differentiator. It has become a survival need. That's the evolution we have seen in the technology. Now, I vividly remember during entire my career, when we would debate with business and product, we would say, you have three vertices of the triangle. You have a scope, you have time, and you have quality. You can pick two of the three, not all three, right? But in my own journey, I have seen you can deliver more scope in lesser time with better quality if we bring the right time. And I have done personally in quite a few organizations. For example, automating your quality in deployment. With that automation, I take example of Lenskart. When we brought in quality automation, when we bring in deployment automation, when we bring in infrastructure automation in the company, we were able to deliver probably 2x more, in 2.5x faster, with 4 to 5x better quality. Right? That's the power of technology that we can harness, both in terms of delivering what product and tech organization deliver within organization and as well as business. Now, it is not just going to improve efficiency and productivity that we talked about recently, but there are things which are not even at all possible without technology. So, for example, in Reliance, I was handling more than 2 million SKUs catalog. How would you curate that 2 million just by throwing people? Or how would you handle 2 million transactions in case of a payment company I worked with, purely with people, right? So technology is on one hand bring productivity and efficiency at scale. On another hand, it enables business use cases and values which otherwise would not have been possible.
Yeah. So customer acquisition is a key focus in scaling business. So how does ScaleX innovate and implement strategies to acquire and retain customers in a competitive market landscape?
So in my view, firstly, the best customer is the customer who is your right customer. Right? Because if we spend on customer acquisition, but on the other hand, we are losing customer, we are having a leaky bucket, your scale and growth is going to suffer heavily. Even if you are not achieving growth, you are buying growth, right? The second best customer is the customer that comes through word of mouth. And both of them need a phenomenal customer experience, both on your software property as well as your post-transaction. So it's an end-to-end thing. And as I said, when we help companies, we start from the customer. We first understand the customer behavior, what are the driver and motivation of the customer, what are the friction point in the customer journey, and then we come to business and product and tech. So I believe if we can bring that, I call that as a mindset. Usually you would see in the organization, engineer would say, I would do what you would ask me to build.
Yeah.
Right? Product would say, I have built this because business asked me to build this. Right? So the type of practice, even in my career, I have brought is my product and my engineering team talk to customer. For example, in Lenskart, I brought in a practice that whenever somebody new is going to join in product and engineering, they would have to visit at least to a store. And those who are joining in our Delhi office, they would have to visit the warehouse. And whenever we are launching a big capability for a store, the 2 or 3 people from the team has to visit a store before designing the product feature and post rollout of the feature. Right? So that mindset itself is very important, which brings a lot of delightful customer experience. And from that, as I said, the other challenge is we believe in building and giving value to the customer rather than building valuation or pure feature. So if you go back, probably 20 years back in our time, we used to have this 10-band graphic equalizer, if you remember those days, right?
Yeah.
and how many time you would use them, right? So we were building many more things. There was a 10-man graphic equalizer, but for customer, it's a more pain than it's any value we have given. And now we have these modes like cinema mode, sports mode. That's the difference between feature and value. And that's this again a mindset that we try to bring in. So I think if the customer empathy and customer centricity and understanding customer, all other things you would discover with those in mind.
Yeah, sure. So, with your expertise in scaling, how do you balance the need for rapid growth and maintaining a focus on sustainable and long-term success for ScaleX and its clients?
Well, that's a very good question, and that's a very tough challenge, to be very honest, which almost in all my companies I have worked with or I have advised, I see. And the way we try to solve this challenge is we look at one is, of course, we start from customer, right? And that helps us to understand the impact of anything that we are doing, whether in business or product impact. The other thing that we do is that we take a look at both the product roadmap and the engineering roadmap, and we try to balance things out. We have given a lot of bandwidth, which is for the short-term immediate need. We have got some bandwidth for a big term and then some for long-term. Similarly, from product, we drive engineering roadmap, and we'll also look at things which are not really an end product, but which would help in driving efficiency. So that's sort of a one way of how is your roadmap balanced. And then we measure the impact of each one of them. The bigger challenge here is that we face is in changing the habits, because whatever is important and urgent for us always overwhelm and consume our entire bandwidth, right? And there we also see that whatever we are really thinking as urgent, is it really also important, or is it urgent but not important, right? So how to drive that balanced roadmap and make sure we are executing in that is sort of, there are challenges there, but that's the broad approach that we use. And we also showcase the impact of following that approach.
Yeah. So as a chief scale maker, what challenges have you encountered in scaling businesses, and what lessons have you learned and that could, benefit other entrepreneurs and leaders in the scaling journey?
So as I already shared, one of the challenges, people not harmonizing these different pillars. Mostly what happens is when you are not able to scale, you would either say that I should bring the latest technology. And when bringing the latest technology itself would not put you for scale. Or the second common thing which I have heard is that we blame our team. We say our team is not good enough, great enough, but that may not necessarily be true. What we say in the tech paradigm is your technology architecture and your organization architecture cannot be in disharmony. One would follow the other. Right? So if they are not, that's where this whole approach that we look at product, people, platform, process and practices, and then connect it to the customer become important. Right? So that's a very common challenge, that looking thing in isolation versus taking a very holistic view, and whatever approach we design are in harmony with each other rather than in isolation. I think the bigger challenge in this is I have built platform which has handled millions of transactions. I have built platform which has handled petabytes of data, and that was not easy. But the tougher thing was the mindset and habits of the people. That's the toughest challenge I have faced, especially in my career. And what usually happens is that once the product market fit is achieved, once you have started generating 5-6 million of revenue, we as a human believe we have achieved some success, right? And we become so hardwired with the practices that we have been following that we don't want to change them. We say we want to change the output, but we are not so open to change the way of working. And unless until we change the process and input, the output is going to remain the same. And it does not happen consciously. Consciously, when I meet people, they say we want to change because now things are not working for us. They even say what brought us here would not take us there. But it is all a lot more in subconscious. the paradigm has become so strong that they don't allow us to change those ways easily. And that's when 2 years back, I also designed, working with my coach, this program that change your paradigm and change your result, where we work on the subconscious mind of the person to change things fundamentally, to change the hardcore belief system and rewire the thought process.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking ahead, what trends do you anticipate in the scaling space, and how does ScaleX plan to stay ahead of these trends to continue being a leader in the industry?
There are quite a few trends, but I would probably take 2 or 3 of them. One is SaaS. Okay. Why I call SaaS is that with SaaS, you don't need to build everything yourself, right? You can leverage SaaS. It's pay as you go model. It's not an initial capex cost. It has been affordable now to even the small companies, because initially when your transaction, you can afford it, right? So that allows you to have many more things within the limited bandwidth that you have. Having said that, it is important to rightly evaluate SaaS, otherwise it may be counterproductive. What SaaS should I use it? When should I use it? When should I get out of it? All these questions become important. That's where we have it. The second trend that I'm seeing is this low-code, no-code platform, right? And making things more configurable. The low-code, no-code platform gives agility, as well as you can launch many more value-added capabilities and scale your business. The last but not the least, which we all are now aware of, is the power of AI. Right? Earlier, when you have to increase your team, your business by 10x, you would say, your bandwidth by 10x. You would say, I hire 10x more people, or maybe even 12x, because there would be inefficiencies as you grow in this scale, right? But today, you can grow 10x maybe without increasing your headcount, right? One good engineer, what is the keyword here? One good engineer can have 10x more productivity with the right set of AI tools than what was possible earlier. So I think SaaS, no-code, no-code platform, and AI are the 3 big trends that I see, which are going to change the way we have been working and scaling. And at ScaleX, we are leveraging them, and in fact, we are trying to sort of bring them in a more powerful manner in our own offerings and help as well.
Yeah, sure. So grateful for having had such an insightful conversation today, and thank you for joining us. It was truly an enriching, insightful conversation here on CXO TV.
Thank you. Very happy to be part of this platform, and thank you for hosting me.
Yeah, our pleasure. Thank you all for watching. Keep an eye on our social media channels for more such insightful conversations exclusively on CXO TV News.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.